The Whisperer's Ruin. The price of knowing. It starts with a whisper. Not the soft secret shared between lovers or friends, but a sliver of sound, cold and thin as a razor's edge, burrowing directly into the drum of your ear. It knows things, the secret shame of the respected elder, the exact location of a diamond ring lost 70 years ago, the very moment your neighbor will meet their end. But for every truth it grants you, it demands a pound of your soul. This is the truth of the Karnapisachini, the Ear-Fiend, an entity from the shadows of Indian folklore that trades absolute knowledge for absolute servitude. You think you want to know everything. You don't. Because the moment you hear that whisper, you cease to be a man, and become merely a vessel for a creature whose hunger is boundless, and whose favorite delicacy is human desperation. Welcome, Midnight Mummers. Welcome, night owls, to Midnight Mummers. Tonight, we delve into a tale pulled from the deep, dark soil of necessity, greed, and ancient, unholy power, a true-to-life account of how one man sought riches and found only ruin. This story, rooted in the esoteric traditions of the subcontinent, serves as a grim warning about the deadliest kind of hunger, the hunger for power without purpose. Part 1: The Hungry Men and the Hallowed Ground. Raja was, by any measure, a ghost of a man living in the vibrant, sprawling chaos of Kolkata. His clothes were dust and patches, his stomach a hollow echo. He lacked the very energy needed to beg. His small, one-room shack on the outskirts of the city, near the Hooghly River, was held together by faith and fragile hope. His wife, Lata, whose gentle light provided his only warmth, was also wasting away. One sweltering monsoon night, driven out by a crushing, relentless hunger, Raja wandered towards the Nadi Shamshan, the old river cremation ground. It was a place where the veil between worlds was thin, where smoke carried the souls of the dead and where the shadows often housed those who sought forbidden power. He wasn't looking for a miracle, only a discarded meal. What he found, near a dilapidated temple dedicated to the ferocious goddess Kali, was Guruji. Guruji was a tantric, a man of deep, practiced focus. He sat cross-legged amidst a faint ring of ash, his eyes unnervingly clear, chanting in a low, powerful drone. Guruji stopped abruptly, his gaze piercing the darkness. "You are Raja," he rumbled, his voice startlingly loud in the quiet night. "The greed in your heart, little one, is louder than your empty stomach." Raja stumbled forward, shame and desperation overwhelming him. He didn't ask for money, he asked for a means to break free from the cycle of crushing poverty. "I can grant you a sight, Raja, a power that will make kings bow." "It is the city of the Karnapisachini," Guruji stated. He knew exactly why Raja was there. "I warn you, this spirit is a master, not a servant. Turn back. Starvation is a gentle kiss compared to the terror she will show you." But Raja, blinded by the image of a life where Lata would never suffer, heard only the word power. He nodded furiously. "I will do whatever it takes. Please, Guruji, show me the way." Guruji saw the fierce, selfish determination in the man's eyes and knew the warning was useless. He agreed to guide him, not to reward his greed, but out of a grim, fatalistic acceptance of destiny. Part 2: The Binding Ritual and the Three Oaths. The ritual to bind the Karnapisachini, known as the Pisachini Bandhan, was a terrifying, 7-night descent into the profane. The ritual setup: Guruji established the sadhana shal, place of worship, deep in the cremation ground. Raja was forced to sit for hours facing south, the direction of Yama, the god of death, under a sickly banyan tree. 1. Asana: Raja sat on a cushion of dry, matted grass, symbolizing his separation from the comfort of the living world. 2. Lamps and offerings: 2 lamps were lit, a pure ghee lamp for Guruji's protection, using the Gayatri mantra, and a lamp fueled by animal fat placed close to Raja, designed to attract the spirit. 3. Protection: Guruji drew a complex protective circle around both of them with consecrated ash, chanting the Mahamrityunjaya mantra to ward off any uncontrolled entities. 4. The vessel: Raja was given a simple, hollow Rudraksh bead and instructed to hold it to his ear, meditating relentlessly on the Pisachini's bija mantra, seed sound. For 7 nights, Raja fasted and chanted. He saw shadows move like liquid, heard whispers that weren't the Pisachini's, and fought off the agonizing desire to flee. Guruji, his eyes red and unblinking, maintained the protective boundary. On the final, terrifying midnight, the atmosphere went dead silent. The air grew thick and heavy with the cloying scent of blood-red lotus and ancient decay. Raja felt a presence, icy and profoundly hungry, pressing against the circle. It was then the voice, thin, metallic, and impossibly close, hissed the conditions directly into his mind. Exhausted, delirious, and fixated on wealth, Raja nodded yes to each one before he could register the full, damning implication. These were the 3 oaths that became his chains. 1. The vow of silence, the isolation, you shall never utter a word of my existence or my methods to any living soul, save for the one who bound me to you. Break this silence, and I shall turn the truth I grant you into a lie that shatters your world. 2. The vow of sustenance, the corruption, every night, before you sleep, you must lay a piece of raw, uncooked meat upon a silver platter beneath your shrine, and carry a sliver of it beneath your pillow. This is my nightly offering. Fail once, and the whispers cease, replaced by an unending, chaotic noise. 3. The vow of obedience, the subjugation, you will never question or refuse a whisper I impart to you, whether it concerns the secrets of others or instructions for your own life. Your will is my dominion. Disobey me, and the secrets I reveal will be weaponized to destroy you, starting with your most beloved possession. The moment the final oath was taken, Raja felt a cold sting in his left earlobe. The Pisachini was his, and he, utterly, was hers. Part 3. The Curse of Knowledge. Within 6 months, Raja's fortunes were unrecognizable. He became the Whisperer, a phenomenon of uncanny, absolute knowledge, solving crimes, finding treasures, and predicting market fluctuations. He bought a mansion, silks, and jewels for Lada. But the Pisachini's presence was a continuous, subtle torment, a chilling, feminine weight on his shoulder. The 3rd oath was the first weapon she wielded. When Raja hesitated to deliver a cruel, destructive lie to a hopeful client, the Pisachini fought back. Remember your 3rd oath, Raja. Your will is my dominion. We start with your wife. She is a blight on my power, her love is a shield against me. The Pisachini issued her final, shattering command, tell her she must leave tonight, or the secrets I reveal will lead to the death of her brother. Obey, or watch him hang, and know you could have prevented it. Raja, terrified by the vision of her brother's certain, mundane end, a small, easily engineered traffic accident, broke. That night, he invented a monstrous lie of infidelity and demanded Lada leave. Lada, confused and heartbroken by the sudden, inexplicable cruelty, fled, taking only the clothes on her back. The moment she was gone, the house felt colder. Raja was fully exposed, his guilt a feast for his spectral master. Part 4. The Downward Spiral and the Taste of Vengeance. With Lada gone, the Karnapisachini began to revel in pure malice. She demanded Raja deliver deliberately false, destructive information. He told a farmer to plant salt in his fields. He told a businessman to invest his life savings in a non-existent fraud. He was an agent of calculated destruction, compelled by the iron law of the 3rd oath. If he refused, the Pisachini would give him a deafening, chaotic cacophony of every secret she knew, millions of voices screaming simultaneously, until he complied. His clients, previously his worshippers, became his vengeful hunters. Ruined by his false prophecies, they knew he was no seer, but a destroyer. They were pooling their resources, hunting the Whisperer down. Raja tried to break the 2nd oath, hoping to starve the entity by withholding the raw meat offering. The resulting psychic noise was so intense, an unbearable mental shriek of the universe's filthiest secrets, that he nearly went insane and frantically restored the offering. He was back where he started, poor, starving, but now carrying the weight of the ruin he had inflicted. His wealth was meaningless, his mansion a gilded cage, and his fame a death sentence. He had to find Guruji. Part 5, The Exorcism and the Long Road Back. Raja slipped out of the city in his old rags, walking until the incessant whisper and the crushing fear drove him to the remote temple where Guruji resided. I told you, Raja. You heard the warning but listened only to the possibility of gold. You wanted power without wisdom, Guruji said, his gaze heavy with sorrow. You created this master, and now the binding must be dissolved through absolute surrender. The final ritual, the Moksha Bandhan, freedom binding, was performed not in the ground of death, but within the serene, brightly lit temple, designed to invoke pure, protective divinity. The ritual of unbinding. 1. The altar, an elaborate fire pit, Yajna Kunda, was prepared, representing transformation. 2. Purification. Raja was forced to drink Panchagavya, a traditional mixture of 5 sacred cow products used for purification, to cleanse the internal corruption of the Pisachini's influence. 3. Mantra and fire. Guruji chanted the Mahamrityunjaya mantra incessantly, offering specific herbs into the purifying fire, Homa. The fire's fierce heat was focused not on the body, but on the binding point, Raja's left ear. 4. The climax. As the final oblations were offered, Guruji invoked the power of Lord Shiva, the destroyer of illusion. Raja felt an agonizing, tearing sensation in his mind, as if a thread woven into his soul was being violently ripped out. The Pisachini fought, unleashing a final, ear-splitting psychic shriek of threat and accusation. Raja, clinging to the mantra, focused only on the gentle light of Lata's memory. The presence was gone. The coldness lifted. Raja was cleansed, yet utterly exhausted, having stared into the void for 3 nights. The emotional fallout of reunion. Guruji gave Raja a small bundle and his final counsel: go find the light you cast aside. True knowledge is not knowing the secrets of others, but knowing the worth of what you already have. Raja walked back to the city and found Lata in their old shack. She had returned, unable to completely sever the connection to her home. He stood before her, not the wealthy, arrogant whisperer, but a beaten, ruined man in rags. He did not mention the Pisachini, bound by his oath to Guruji. Instead, he told her the truth about himself. Lata, he whispered, his voice cracking. There was no other woman. The wealth, it was a disease. I became so consumed by greed, so arrogant in my sudden power, that I lost all sense of self. The man who cast you out was a monster created by his own poverty of conscience. I did it because I was afraid of losing the money, more afraid of the sickness I had brought home. I destroyed the one thing that was ever truly worth having. Lata didn't rush to embrace him. She was guarded, hurt, and emotionally scarred. Her gentle light was still dimmed. You called me a traitor. You threw me out like trash, she said softly, but the firmness in her voice showed she was no longer a victim. I love the man who was poor and kind. I do not know the man who was rich and cruel. The reunion was not a joyous Hollywood scene, but a tentative, painful negotiation with reality. She let him stay, but she slept on the opposite side of the small room. The fallout was the death of their old trust. Raja accepted this penance. He took on honest, back-breaking labor. He did not use his hands to seek secrets, but to chop wood, carry goods, and earn every single rupee. He showed Lata kindness and patience daily. He cooked for her, listened to her, and simply existed without demands, earning back her belief through the slow, steady rhythm of humility and labor. It took months. But slowly, the coldness faded. One rainy evening, she reached out and took his hand while he slept, a quiet acknowledgement that the cruel man was truly gone, replaced by the humble man she had loved. Raja was poor again, but truly rich in the warmth of a fully earned trust. The whisper was gone, replaced by the gentle, beautiful sound of her voice and the immense luxury of silence. Moral of the story: the illusion of easy power. For those of you listening tonight, this is the ultimate lesson of Raja's terrifying journey. The Karnapisachini is not just a monster of myth, she is the psychological embodiment of toxic ambition. She preys on one core flaw, the desperate human desire for a shortcut. Raja was offered the ultimate hack: knowledge without effort, wealth without wisdom, and power without responsibility. His moral failure was not being poor, but in believing that he could control an evil force merely for his own benefit. The true moral is this: any power or knowledge obtained by violating your own conscience will eventually turn on you. The price of ill-gotten gain is not paid in gold, it is paid in what you hold most dear: your peace, your kindness, and the love of those who depend on your integrity. Beware the promises of entities, spiritual or secular, that demand you surrender your free will and your moral compass in exchange for success. The moment you make that trade, you gain a fleeting glimpse of the future, but you lose yourself in the process. Always choose the hard, honest path, for it is the only one that guarantees you keep your soul intact.